Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Raw results, 205 Live as well. And birthdays for this. This is for the July 1st episode. There wasn't any birthdays from July 1st in the wrestling world. We got June 27th birthdays, Abby Lath, 1990. June 28th birthdays, you got John Heidenreich, 1972. June 30th birthdays, Alicia Fox, 1986. Cody Rhodes, 1985. Terry Funk, 1944. Scott Dawson, 1984. And Sue Young from 1989. NXT Tag Team Champions of the Street Profits made their Raw debut this week. And they're none other than Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. They were backstage for Raw from Dallas, Texas at the American Airlines Center. And that link can be found here. Okay, apparently a camera flub as Raw kicked off the USA Network revealed a backstage shot of Dawkins and Ford backstage, and a screenshot can be found in this link of that. But they were on the live edition of Raw several times. Lucha House Party did not appear on the show this week, Raw, but they came out in front of the live crowd at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas during the 24/7 spot. W posted this video of Kalisto, Listerado, and Grand Metalik tossing items to the fans in the crowd during a commercial break. Lucha House Party will return to TV on 205 Live this week to face off against the Singh brothers. WWE continuing to have superstars come out and interact with the crowd during the commercial break segments. And previously, our segments with the previous weeks had Dana Brooke, Zack Ryder, and Kurt Hawkins. And at this link, you got Dana Brooks and Zack Ryder. I'll post that together as well. Dana Brooke will be the first top one. Zack Ryder will be the second one. Opening of tonight's Raw saw Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley work a Falls Count Anywhere match until Braun put Lashley through a table, but the entire Titantron. Only a portion of it failed. The rest of it was still standing. This led to a big explosion backstage as WWE had pyro go off several times to add to the chaos. Announcers played up the seriousness of the situation, even had some of the referees coming out with fire extinguishers, extinguishing certain fire areas. They almost even got the wrestlers themselves. But the situation for Strowman and Lashley were loaded on stretchers by paramedics driven away in an ambulance after the commercial. Separate ambulances. Also seen in the videos, WWE really tried to make the angle feel so dramatic. It looks like WWE may have done the stage explosion angle to make way for a new stage and set. Not having the Titantron anymore. As I posted reason why over the last couple of weeks. Russell Votes on Twitter reported that the company has been working on having a new stage design built. It was speculated that this angle may have been done to speed up the arrival of the new set. Former Impact champion James Storm appeared at Ring of Honor Best in the World International TV taping, where he beat Colt Cabana for the NWA National Heavyweight Championship. The event had taken place in Philadelphia at the 2300 Arena. Storm came out during Ian Riccobone's interview with Colt Cabana about his injury update and wanted to have a match for the title, which ended up in James Storm winning. Storm, who has been best known for his time in Impact, where he won the Heavyweight Championship, as well as the Tag Team titles with Beer Money, with currently Bobby Roode. Storm also had a stint in NXT in 2015. He left on his own. Well, here's some tweets from Storm's appearance and winning the title from Dave Mascarella. Scoop 28. Ian interviews Colt Cabana for injury update. Out comes James Storm. Hashtag ring ROH Philly. And another Scoop 29 from Dave Mascarella. James says he has a ref and wants his 5 more minutes. Now, Colt says he's injured and it's not happening now. Storm attack Colt. Colt changes his mind and matches on. Hashtag ROH Philly. And the final one, scoop number 30. James Storm makes his way out. Makes Colt submit to a half crab. And is now the new North American champion. Hashtag ROH Philly. Fyter AEW Fyter Fest Results. As a request from my buddy Robert. And here you go. I gave him the actual link for this. So here you go, Robert. Thanks for asking. SCU, the Southern Cal University, wherever they're called, versus Private Party versus Best Friends, winner take all. Outshot for a first round bye in the AEW World Tag Team Championship Tournament. Trent and Cassidy get things started. Trent with a shoulder block, sending Cassidy to the mat. Chuck tags in, hits his own shoulder tackle, much like Trent did. Kazarian tags in. Quinn tags in. Kazarian drops the high flyer with a big lariat and sends him into Scorpio's boot. He tags in, hits a backbreaker on Quinn. Trent tags in and goes to work on Scorpio. Kazarian already back in, hits a big slingshot kick on Trent in the corner. Covers for a 2 count. Back and forth strikes. Kazarian hits the ropes. Quinn tags himself in and hits a big slingshot crossbody on both guys in the ring. Quinn then lays out everyone from the other team. Inverted atomic drop kick combo straight into a double stomp to the back of the head. Quinn nearly gets his back body dropped out of the ring. Cassidy is able to bounce Quinn back in and hits a tornado DDT on Kazarian. Cassidy then hits a moonsault off the second rope out to the floor, takes out the other wrestlers. SCU and Best Friends regroup and pair off on each member of the Private Party. On the floor, Best Friends hit delayed double suplex on Cassidy. Kazarian with an assisted tornado DDT on Quinn onto the floor. He had been wearing his shades the entire time of the match, and then they finally fall off. Kazarian puts him on for a moment and tosses him. Best Friends able to get some momentum in the ring and are able to embrace with a hug. Big pop from the crowd. Chuck works Cassidy. Stab suplex. Covers for a 2 count. Trent tags in. Hits the Northern Light suplex for a 2 count. Chuck is in there now. Drop kick pinned to him for a 2 count. Trent with eat defeat. But Cassidy returns fire with a spraining enziguri. Trent tags in and knocks Quinn off the ring. Cassidy gets to hit the corner, but no partner. He ends up tagging in Kazarian. Kazarian clears out the Best Friends, then slingshots Cassidy back in for a cutter. Hits another on Chuck. Trent with a nice tornado DDT off the turnbuckle. Tries for another. Kazarian shoves him away. Quinn boots Kazarian in the back of the head. Tags in and hits a huge shooting star press on Trent. Covers for a 2 count. Crowd thought it was over. That's what you get, crowd. Only the referee counts. Cassidy trying to fight off SCU, giving a high pitch, let's go, and SCU ends up destroying him, covers for a 2 count. SCU trying to finish him off. Cassidy shoves Scorpio into a Kazarian, who gets stuck on the top turnbuckle. Quinn climbs to the top, Trent comes in, and looks for a German suplex. Quinn lands on his feet. Quinn with a Hurricane Rana on Kazarian, straight into a cutter by Cassidy. Covers, but Scorpio breaks it up. Trent and Chuck blast Cassidy with a kick and a knee. They look for a strong 0. Hit on Cassidy for the 1, 2, 3. Best Friends by pinfall to receive all out. Match for a shot at the first round bye in the AEW World Tag Team Championship Tournament. After the match, Dark Order is on the big screen and they want the Best Friends in their first AEW match. Lights go out in the building and the Dark Order's minions have surrounded the ring. Lights go out again and they're gone, with the Best Friends still standing in the ring. Backstage, Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, are worried about the show tonight. They say that they are bleeding money, and it's too bad they couldn't make a documentary about what's going on. They realize the camera's watching them, and then talk about all the things going wrong with the show. Bad food, no tents, kiddies pools. Kenny Omega shows up, the Young Bucks don't even have their gear. Omega says that they have new gear on the way this second, and it'll all work out. Matt says that new gear is great, but it blew through half the budget, and now they can't afford half the models on the stage. 2 are taken to the back, and 2 mannequins in bikinis are put in their place. The librarians Leva Bates and Peter Avalon are on the stage. Avalon was hanging out one of the tents. Hanging out in one of the tents. They exchange some words with each other. Avalon suddenly gets mad and sends one of the tents into the pool, then destroys one of the mannequins. Bates says she knows that there are a lot of gamers here, but there's so much more out there at their fingertips inside a book. Crowd boos and chants, "We can't read." She talks more about the power of books. Avalon and Bates get into the shush off as Allie's music hits, and out she comes. Crowd wasn't sure what to make of the whole segment. Pretty quiet for most of it. Allie versus Leva Bates. Bates keeps shushing Allie. Allie finally grabs Bates' finger and twists it. She flips Bates over, puts her hand down on the mat, and stomps on it, Orton style. Bates rolls out to the floor, and Ali taunts her as we see Brandy Rhodes watching along from the back. Looks like she wants a winner in this match. Bates is back in the ring. Ali with a crossbody off the second rope, side Russian leg sweep, covers for a 2 count. Avalon reading a book still as Ali tries to hit the ropes, and he accidentally grabs her foot. She barks at Avalon, and Bates drop kicks her out to the floor. Back inside the ring, Bates continues to work Ali over. Ali with a pin attempt. For a 2 count. Bates goes back on the offense. Multiple punches, rolls through, and stretches Ali out. Ali finally gets in a bunch of chops in the corner. She screams at Bates, but gets hit across the ring into the corner. Bates drives her knees into Ali, covers for a 2 count. Bates throws wild punches, misses. Ali lands her punches and chops. The reporter don't know who's female or what, because Ali, this is a females match. Leva Bates is female as well. All right, Ali lands lunge punches and chops. Bates in the corner. Ali with a back elbow, big sliding elbow. Ali tries for a super kick, caught. Rough-looking lung blower hits. Bates hits a modified pedigree. Camera kind of missed it, so it was hard to tell. Covers for a 2 count. Avalon on the apron throws a book, but it ends up going to Ali. Ali tosses it to Bates. Super kick, lands, covers, and that'll do it. Here, catch a chair. Instead of chair shot, book shot. Kick, pinfall. Who do they think they are? Raven? Or RVD? Kenny Omega's playing roadie to help the musical acts get to their things. Brandon Cutler stops him and says he doesn't need to do that. All the bands are gone. Omega looks really worried. Tells the cameraman to turn the camera off. Michael Nakazawa versus Alex Jabali. Hardcore match. Nakazawa's on the microphone before things start going. He says Jabali cheated to win last year, and that's why CEO sucks. Nakazawa mentions Jabali's injury to his right leg. Jabali corrects him that it was his left, and Nakazawa thanks him for the info, kicking him right after. Jabali recovers, hits a hip toss, scoop power slam, looks for a waist lock. Nakazawa busts out with baby oil and slides out. Jabali kicks him in the gut and in the back, tries again but slips on the oil. Referee slips too. Nakazawa puts on oil at Jabali's stomach, then slips over him and falls down on Jabali. On the outside, Jabali sends him into the barricade, grabs a clipboard and breaks it over Nakazawa's head. What do they think this is? The Three Stooges match? He's handed a fight stick, jams it into Nakazawa's stomach, smacks it over his back, covers for a 2 count. Jabali and him work towards the stage. Jabali ends up submerging Nakazawa's head in the kiddie pool. Nakazawa missed him, hits him with a blow-up pool toy. Jabali ends up dumping Nakazawa into the pool and brings him back into the ring. Jabali looks under the ring, sends a controller and a kendo stick into the ring. He puts the table up outside on the ring. Nakazawa smacks him in the head with a controller and chokes him with the cord. Jabali up on the apron, looks for a suplex on his opponent. No, Nakazawa bites him. Referee gets sent into Jabali, but he hangs on. Nakazawa charges with a spear, sending Jabali down through the table. Nakazawa brings him back into the ring, covers. He lifts Jabali up and decides to crack him a couple of times with a kendo stick. Nakazawa pulls off his thong from under his wrestling tights, tries to hit Jabali with it. He ducks it, suplex Nakazawa on his dang head. Jabali dumps out of a bunch of game controller buttons. Back body drops Nakazawa on them. Cracks him with a bunch of times with a kendo stick. Nakazawa tries for the thong attack again. Ends up getting the referee. Jabali with a low blow. Rolls up Nakazawa, but the referee is still dazed. Probably he was just wearing it under, in between his gear, and what have you. Nakazawa counters with a pin attempt and puts the thong on Jabali's face for the 3 count. What do you think he is? Mick Foley's other character? Mankind. Couldn't think about it. So Michael Nakazawa wins by pinfall. John Moxley come out. The former WWE Dean Ambrose says to the camera, if you don't know who or what John Moxley is, you're about to find out. Christopher Daniels versus Cima. Cima and Daniels off to a quick pace. Daniels finally hits an arm drag to bring things to a halt. Daniels looks for a lariat. Nope. Cima lands a drop kick that sends Daniels to the floor. Cima with a basement drop kick, sending Daniels into the barricade. Back in the ring. Cima initially gets the best of Daniels, but Daniels hits a tilt-the-world backbreaker. Cima to the floor. Daniels with a release overhead suplex. Both back in the ring. Daniels hits a scoop Sam. Suplex. Hits a Arabian moonsault on Cima. Back. And goes right into the crossface. Cima dumped in the corner. Daniels does a SCU chant. Charges in. Eats a kick. Cima with a backstabber. Rolling Venus hammer. Plants Daniels. Hooks both legs for the pin. Only gets a 2 count. Crowd fairly split for the match. Daniels with a blue thunder bomb. Angel Wing hits. Covers. Cima kicks out. Cima to Enziguri. Daniels on the second rope. Cima looks for a sunset power bomb. Cima adjusts into a running power bomb. Perfect driver. Covers for a 2 count. Cima plants Daniels to the mat. Hits to the top rope. Meteora lands for the 3 count. Also noted, Cima faces Kenny Omega at AEW Fight for the Fallen in July. Yuka Sakazaki versus Riho versus Nyla Rose. Another females match. Rose sends both opponents in the corner. Charges in. Nobody home. Nakazaki and Riho try to Irish whip Rose, but they get sent into each other. They land a double drop kick, try to roll Rose into a submission, but they both get whipped away. Both are dropped to the mat. Rose was smashed on both. Both slip out under Rose and go on the attack. They try for a suplex. Rose counters with a double suplex. Rose stacks both women on top of each other for the double camel clutch. Rose lifts Sakazaki and throws her on Riho. Riho rolls to the floor. Rose tries for a suplex. Nope. Sakazaki with a hurricane that sends Rose out to the floor. Sakazaki looks to fly, climbs up to the top rope and flies, taking out both women. Rio's hit back into the ring. Sakazaki heads to the top rope. Drop kick, lands, covers for a 2 count. Rio fights back. Drop kick misses, but she ends up on landing a double stomp. Rose charges in, gets tripped against the rope. 619. Rose eats some more aerial attacks. Riho tries to roll up Sasaki. 2 count. Instantly double stomps her. Sasaki with a running lariat. Or Sakazaki. Running lariat on the ground in Rio. No, reporter messed up and said he earlier. I caught it before I read it. Announce it. Well, you got Rose charged in, tripped up against the ropes. Okay, already did that. With a running lariat on the grounding Riho. Rose back to her feet. 1 punch sends Sakazaki to the mat. Rose hops a bit to a chorus of boos. Sakazaki takes a moment to swing away at her opponent, looking for a running lariat. Nope. Rose lifts and plants Sakazaki. Lazy cover for a 2 count. Rose hangs Riho on the second rope. Trio rope. Rose climbs to the top rope. Leaps for the hard knee drop. Down on Riho. Crowd with a holy crap chant. Rose doesn't go for the cover though. She heads back up. Got it right that time. And to the top again. Sakazaki climbs up, slows Rose down, but eats a bunch of punches that sends her back to the floor. Rose back up top again, looks for the senton bomb, nobody home. Rio up to the top herself to try for a crossbody, caught. Sakazaki up top, and she caught too. Sakazaki with a roll up, only gets a 2 count. Rio knees Sakazaki. Sakazaki comes back with a suplex. Looks for the magical girl splash. Rio gets her knees up. Rose with a nasty release German suplex onto Sakazaki. Rose with a beast bomb. Covers. Rio driving knee that puts Sakazaki in a pinning position. Rio has to break up that too. Rose then drops Rio, but slowly to get up. Finally goes for the cover for a 2 count. Rose looks for another beast bomb. Rio rolls through with a counter, hooks a leg, and gets a pinfall. After the match, Rose attacks Rio from behind. Crowd booing that. She looks for the beast bomb. Sakazaki with a save. Double drop kick sends Rose out to the floor. Sakazaki tries to help Rio up and gets shoved away. Kip Sabian joins commentary. He will face the winner of the upcoming 4-way match. Adam Page versus MJF versus Jungle Boy versus Jimmy Havoc. MJF on the mic before the match. Getting plenty of boos right from the start. Crowd says, MJF, you suck. MJF says, your mother's basement that you live in, she swallows. MJF hypes himself up and makes fun of the gamers in the crowd. I used to love video games, and then I lost my virginity. Match gets started. Everyone starts swinging. Page and Jungle Boy stay in the ring. Page with a big kick, lands some chops. Jungle Boy with a springboard arm drag into a step up. Hurricane Rana. Havoc in there against Jungle Boy. Big elbow, sliding drop kick to a grounded Jungle Boy, plants him, but MJF with a roll up on Havoc. Covers for a 2 count. Johnson on Jungle Boy, 2 again. MJF eats an elbow by Havoc. Page looks for the dead eye. Nope. Page with a follow-away slam on Jungle Boy. Springboards himself out to the floor on MJF. Havoc with a running senton off the apron on Page. Jungle Boy looks to fly, but MJF stops that. MJF taunts a bit as he looks to fly. Ends up just running for the ropes, taunting the crowd. Jungle Boy drop kicks MJF. Jungle Boy looks for a flipping cannonball to the floor. His boot catches the ring post, so he doesn't get all of it. MJF looks for some punches in the corner. Jungle Boy moves out of the way for the first one. Hits a flipping powerbomb, sending MJF from the second rope to the mat. Havoc with a running uppercut on Jungle Boy. Heads up to the top with him and tries for a superplex. Page gets in there with a Tower of Doom, and MJF ends up getting flattened by the group, crashing to the mat. MJF eats a big lariat by Page, bails out to the floor. Jungle Boy and Havoc with some double act kicks. Jungle Boy jumps Havoc on his head. Page with a discus lariat, pop-up powerbomb, covers. MJF puts Jungle Boy's foot on the rope to break up the count. Havoc with a German suplex on Page. MJF with a double stomp on Havoc's arm. Throws Jungle Boy into Havoc, goes for the corner. Page yanks Havoc out of the ring to break things up. MJF and Page battle back and forth. MJF with a chop block on Page's banged up knee. MJF looks for the sharpshooter, but Page sweeps the leg and looks for one of his own. MJF gets the ropes. Crowd hates him so much. MJF heat seeker on Page, covers. Jungle Boy able to stop it. Break up the pin count. MJF smacks Jungle Boy, who falls back to Luchasaurus. He catches him and swings back up. Havoc then dumps Jungle Boy down on Luchasaurus. Havoc with a double stomp down on Havoc, who is what hasn't even been mentioned in the match. Luchasaurus with a double stomp on Havoc, covers and gets a 2 count. MJF with an eye poker to Havoc, thumb to the eye. Buckshot lariat hits Havoc. Page sends MJF out to the floor. Then Page hits the rite of passage on Havoc for the win. After the match, Page and MJF yell at each other as MJF heads to the back. Next match, you got Cody in his corner, Brandy Rhodes versus Darby Allin. Allin, spelled all in, brought a black body bag with Cody 1 and 1 spray painted on it. All in, using his agility early on to avoid and frustrate Cody, who has a decisive size advantage on his opponent. Wow, what's Cody weigh? Maybe 200 pounds? Cody using some of his amateur wrestling background to go for a single leg, but All In gets the ropes. He then goes for a headlock takeover to the mat on All In. All In looks for an arm drag. Cody easily blocks it. All In then leaps up to the top rope and hits a massive arm drag that sends Cody out to the floor. All In beckons him back in as Cody checks on out the body bag. JR, noting All In is only 22 years old. Cody finally slows All In down with a punch to the face. Cody tries to yank him out of the corner. All In blocked it. Cody dropped down and punches him. He ends up throwing All In into the corner, and All In ended up going through the middle of the top rope all the way to the floor. Not sure if that was intended, but it sure looked brutal. Cody with some push-ups, and he waits for All In. He makes his way back in. Cody continues to work over his opponent, stomps away at his leg, then goes into a figure four, but All In gets to the rope and even bites at it. All In gets hit out to the floor, goes over to All In as he gets in the ring. All In swings Cody's wrist into the ring post. He drops All In, goes for the pin, gets a 2 count. Cody looks over to his hand. Cody with a big clothesline that turns All In inside out. All In having trouble standing now as Cody just works him completely over. Cody with a delayed suplex. All In squeezes Cody's injured left hand to escape. Rolls him up, springboard right into a low drop kick. Covers for a 2 count. He twists, punches, headbutts, and wrenches Cody's wrist. Cody finally gets to the rope and sits on the apron. All In kicks him. Hits a nice suicide dive, then slams Cody's wrist onto the steps. All In looks to stomp it, misses. They land at each other for a moment. They look at each other for a moment. Cody then yanks his leg out from underneath him, sending All In crashing back first into the steps. Cody looks to fly and hits his own suicide dive. Back inside the ring, All In lands some strikes. Yoshi Tonic pins for a 2 count. 5 minutes remaining in the match. All In hits up top with his back to Cody. Cody runs up and stomps him, sending All In crashing down to the mat. Pin gets a 2 count. All In on the apron. Cody chases. All In bites the injured hand again. Cody clotheslines into the ring. All In yanks Cody's arm into the ropes again. All In to the top and tries a coffin drop on Cody, but he moves and All In ends up crashing and burning on the edge of the apron. Ow, ow. Cody ends up wrapping All In the body bag. Cody with a disaster kick covers for a 2 count. All In was able to jump up and out of the bag, then falls back down. So instead of a casket match, you got a black bag match. Closed bag match. I don't know. 1 minute remaining in the match. Supposedly a time limit or whatever. He rolls up. All In kicks out at 1. Cody smacks All In with a weight belt multiple times. 30 seconds left. Cody with a kick. Crossroads. All In works with a counter. Over the top stunner. Crossroads sends All In on his head. Time counting down, and Cody misses the 3 count by 1 second. Match ends in a 20-minute time limit draw. They consider giving them more time, but Shawn Spears comes to the ring and smashes Cody right in the head with a chair shot. Brandy gets in the ring and asks what he's doing. The referee gets between Brandy and Spears. Spears stares at Brandy and makes his way out to the crowd. Cody with a gash on the back of his head now. Sizable pool of blood on the mat. MJF is in the ring, not happy as he watched Spears leave. Scorpio Kazarian out to check on Cody. Well, we got all kind of chaos, as some of these members are not even together. That goes to kayfabe. Whatever company you are, you get moved around. As commentary does a good job of putting over how sickening that was for Spears to hit Cody with that chair shot. The match was post-match was wild. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks triple 6-man tag versus the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr., Phoenix, and Laredo Kid. The Elite come out with their Street Fighter inspired outfits. The Elite, you get it? Cody Rhodes is also in the Elite. Go figure. Just before the match gets going, they tell Justin Roberts to say something. Round 1, fight. Nick and Laredo get things started, get things rolling. Nick has a tough time with Laredo in the early parts of the match. Every wrestler make their way into the ring. Pentagon team tries for a triple super kick. Nope, the Elite hit the ropes and eat super kicks too. Pentagon, Phoenix, and Laredo all take to the air and drop their opponents out on the floor. Laredo continued to work over Nick into the mat. And Laredo, with 2 moonsault off the second rope, pins for a 2 count. Nick is able to finally get some offense in, taking out both Phoenix and Pentagon. He tags back in, hits multiple Northern Light suplexes on first Laredo Kid, then Phoenix in overhead release suplexes to both Pentagon and Phoenix. Omega gets the tag. Crowd pops as he chops away at Laredo. Diving back elbow in the corner, backbreaker covers for a 2 count. By the way, the Young Bucks, a finishing maneuver is a super kick party. Laredo ends up on the floor. Omega hits the ropes. Pentagon tops him in his tracks and wags his finger, Hulk Hogan style. Crowd chants, "Cero Mado!" As Pentagon takes his glove off, tosses it to the ref. As does a Cero Mado taunt right in Omega's face. Big back and forth chops from both wrestlers. Omega with a low drop kick. Leg drop. Sends Pentagon face first into the mat. Young Bucks runs in and sends Phoenix off the apron. Back to the off the apron and back to the apron. The Elite with a triple team move. Omega with a release German suplex. Everyone taking turns with big strikes. Pentagon takes all of the Elite out, hitting a backstabber on Omega. Out on the floor, it's craziness. Laredo with a huge suicide dive. Matt gets stuck in a trio woe position. Pentagon with a double stomp covers 2 count. Omega tried to fight off of all 3 opponents. Snapdragon suplexes on Pentagon and Phoenix. Big knee into a Snapdragon. Suplex on Laredo. Nick Jackson sent out to the floor. Phoenix runs and Pentagon back body drops him up over the corner down on Nick. Laredo with a sick move sending Omega to the mat. Covers for a 2 count. Multiple wrestlers are eating super kicks. The Elite trying to plan something, but end up eating more super kicks. The Elite then hit Street Fight inspired Hadouken triple power bombs by the Elite, 2 count. Phoenix and Laredo both eat a 450 splash. Omega goes for the pin, but Pentagon kicks the hell out of him to break that up. Nick spikes Phoenix to the mat, tries to hit Pentagon with a moonsault on the floor. No, Pentagon drops him. Omega with a V-trigger on Laredo, sending him out to the floor. Omega looks to fly. Phoenix with a big cutter to stop that. Nick with a reverse cutter on Phoenix. Matt and Nick taking a Meltzer driver out on the floor. Quirky spot leads to Phoenix hitting a Spanish fly on Nick off the top rope. Down to the floor on Pentagon and Nick. Omega hits Omega with a bit knee to Laredo's face. 1 winged angel hits, covers for the 3 count. Winners of the match, the Elite. After the match, Omega and the Young Bucks celebrate. Omega tells the other team to jump in the ring. They jaw a bit, but Pentagon, Phoenix, and Laredo celebrate a bit in the ring. Omega shakes hands with everyone ringside and makes his way out to the match. But we got Ring of Honor style match with a code of honor handshake after the match. Jim Ross putting over that the show is officially over as Moxley and Janela is a lights out non-sanctioned event. And here we go. The non-sanctioned match. Still on the show. Moxley with some chops to start the match. Gets sent out to the floor. Janela with a suicide dive on Moxley. Ends up sending Janela out to the crowd where the two brawl a bit until they make their way back to ringside. Janela already bringing the table out. Sets it up on the floor. Moxley looks to have a dinged up eyebrow already. Moxley throws Janela into the steps. Finds a chair under the ring. Body slam Janela on the chair. Moxley sits on the chair to admire his work. Like this. And then Janela attacks and chops Moxley back down on the chair. Janela back up top rope. Looks for a senton. Moxley moves and Janela flattens the chair. Moxley brings out a barbed wire wrap chair and lays it on Janela's chest. He smacks his midsection, then steps down on it, grinding away. Crowd with a "You sick effer" chant as he gives the crowd a bow. They pop for that. Moxley heads to the top rope. Janela follows up. Hurricanrana sends Moxley down on the chair, and he just clips the edge of it. Janela takes the chair and smashes it down on Moxley's back. Covers for a 2 count. Moxley's low back is bleeding a bit. Janela bringing out another table. He puts it in the ring in the corner. Moxley tries to throw Janela to outside through the other table. Janela blocks it, and it is on the apron now. Suplex attempt. No, Moxley heads out to the apron. And Janela instantly hits a side Russian leg sweep through the table, back in the ring. Moxley picks up Janela and drives her through the table in the corner. Moxley out to the floor, looking for more toys in the ring. Another table out, and another one. He points at Janela, who flips them off. Two tables are set up right next to each other, out on the floor. Moxley goes in, beats him up a bit more. Moxley under the ring again, yanks out a barbed wire board. Abyss style. Puts it in the corner of the ring. Janela nearly runs into it. Moxley tries for an EDT. Nope. Janela lifts and sends Moxley straight into the barbed wire. Moxley's feet are tangled in the barbed wire. Janela yanks him out, covers for a 2 count. Moxley's back is bloodied up again some more. He's still able to lift himself up and out of the corner and blast Janela with a lariat. Super kick by Janela. Moxley on the apron now. Another super kick that somewhat misses. Janela yanks out another ladder and puts it up in the ring. Moxley is watching, yanking Janela to the outside. Moxley gets his head sent into the steps a bunch of times. Moxley is put on both tables. Janela climbs the ladder and hits a big elbow drop down on Moxley, breaking one of the tables. Tough landing for Janela. He yanks out another barbed wire board, brings it on the apron, and barricade. So I'm guessing it's put on the top of both of them. Moxley back in the ring. Janela looks to send him there, but walks right into a DDT. Moxley with a Death Valley driver. The DVD, sending Janela crashing down through the barbed wire board. Crowd with an AEW chant. Referee checking on Janela. Moxley brings him back into the ring. Janela with a weak slap. Moxley with knees to the head. Moxley grabs a bucket, pulls out a white bag, dumps a pile of thumbtacks. Mick Foley style, Cactus Jack style, whatever you want to call them, Mankind. Moxley then takes Janela's boots and socks off. He dumps Janela on the tacks, then sends him feet first. Paradigm shift on the attacks, 133. John Moxley wins by pinfall. After match, Kenny Omega rushes Moxley and beats the hell out of him. This is a revenge for Moxley attacking Omega at the end of Double or Nothing after his loss to Chris Jericho. Suplex on the floor, puts the table over Moxley. Hits a big double stop on him. Moxley tries to fight back. Omega gets on him, continues to swing away. He sends Moxley face first into the drum kit out near the stage. Omega hits Moxley with some drumsticks. Then grabs the electric guitar, cracks Moxley over the back with it before backing away. Referees help Moxley up the ramp. He ends up shoving them away. Omega runs out with a garbage can and cracks Moxley a bunch of times. Omega then hits the Dirty Deeds on the trash can, sealing his own finisher and standing tall as the show ends. Spoilers, or actually now, results were from main event, WWE main event for this week. Robert Roode defeated Cedric Alexander. Dana Brooke defeated Sarah Logan. Raw was up for live from the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas, with Michael Coleslaw. Welcome to the show. Renee Young and Corey Graves also there. Hype tonight's show. Falls County Area matches first. Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. We go right to the ring. Out first comes Braun Strowman for tonight's Falls Count Anywhere opener. Bobby Lashley is out next as Mike Rome does the introductions. Bell rings and they're already going at it. Lashley nailing an early spear and Strowman rolls to the floor. Lashley follows, but Braun drops him with a shoulder. Strowman with a senton on the floor for a 2 count. Lashley ends up countering a move and shoving Strowman into the ring post. Lashley tackles Strowman into a timekeeper's area and covers him for a 2 count. They brawl up through the crowd. Now as Lashley covers, Lashley drops the chair and covers in the crowd for a 2 count. More back and forth and pin attempts as they brawl through the crowd and to the stage. Brawl continues on the stage until Strowman sends Lashley through the larger part of the Titantron. The major explosion as pyro goes off several times. It looks like lights in the backstage area also went out. Cameraman apparently dropped the camera to add to the spectacle. Fans chant this is awesome as we see the referee checking on Lashley and Strowman. calling for help. Lashley and Strowman are both laid out. We hear officials calling for paramedics as they show an overhead view of it. Another official is asking for everything to be powered down to prevent further damage. Adding to the chaos with the segment, overhead shot continues as both superstars are loaded onto stretchers, and it looks like you're getting camera view from your nosebleed section, where I last saw a WWE event from SmackDown in Boulder City, where me and my now ex-wife saw the event when Chris Jericho and The Rock had their botches in segments. That kid in the front row just said he's going to WrestleMania, to Royal Rumble, and win. Back for the break, Coleslaw plays up the seriousness of the situation, in which we see Braun Strowman loaded up into an ambulance. Bobby Lashley has been driven away in the other ambulance. Coleslaw talks about how they will be taken to a local hospital to be evaluated. Gray talks about how there was something burning in the back from the explosion. We go to an announcer that Coleslaw addresses the fans over how WWE tries to do everything they can to protect the superstars, but sometimes things like this just happen. They continue to play up the situation. We get replays. Coleslaw says he hopes to have an update later. Viking Raiders versus the New Day. Go to ring, out comes Viking Raiders. Eric and Ivar. Back to commercial. Back for the break, out comes Xavier Woods and Big E of the New Day. Big E and Eric go out to start the match. Big E and Woods will double team early on. The Raiders turn it around off a double team after Ivar comes in. Ivar unloads on Big E and takes Eric back in. Big E looks to turn it around, but Eric drop kicks him into the corner. The Raiders with a big double team in the corner. Eric covers for a 2 count. Fowley's rally for Big E as Eric keeps him grounded. The match suddenly ends when Samoa Joe attacks Woods at ringside and puts him in a coquina clutch. Kofi Kingston comes running down to make the save. This turns into the Raiders and Joe attacking Kofi together at ringside. Big E and Woods are back over to face off with the others. Officials get between the two sides as we go back to commercial. Back for a commercial, and we get 6-man tag. New Day versus Viking Raiders and Samoa Joe. Back for the break. 6-man is underway as Kofi goes at it with Ivar. Kofi eventually drops Ivar with a drop kick for a 2 count. Xavier comes in to keep control of Ivar. Samoa Joe distracts Woods, allowing for a big kick from Ivar. Joe tags in and taunts Kofi some before going to work on Woods. Eric comes back in and keeps control of Woods. Eric keeps Woods grounded with armbar. Woods fights back with chops and strikes on Eric. Eric catches him and counters a reversal, launching Woods across the ring. Ivar comes back in and hits a big slam on Woods. Joe comes back in. It's a senton on Woods for a 2 count. Kofi finally gets a hot tag and runs wild on Ivar. Eric tags in, but Kofi knocks him down for a pop as well. Kofi with a boom drop. Joe with another cheap shot from the apron, but Kofi knees him from the ring to the floor. Big E helps clean house, sending the Raiders to the floor. Ivar stops a Big E dive with a knee. Woods drop kicks Eric to the ropes. Ivar runs the ropes, nails a dive to Woods. Woods with Kofi with trouble in paradise to send Ivar off the apron. Kofi comes from behind with a coquina clutch on Kofi in the middle of the ring. Kofi tries to break the hold, but he starts fading as the referee checks on him. Kofi finally goes out, and the referee calls for the match. Winners of the match, Samoa Joe and the Viking Raiders. Unknown why they decided that. Count out. After the match, Joe first refuses to break the hold. Okay, well, whatever. Tap out, yes, whatever. As he didn't even raise his arm, not once. He just stopped the match. After the match, Joe first refuses to break the hold. Stand tall as the music hits. As we go to replays, he joins the Viking Raiders on the ramp. Joe stands tall on the stage with the announcer plugging his title shot at Extreme Rules. Still to come, Elias versus Miz in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Plus, Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins will be here. And that will be a mixed match challenge. We get a look at how Drake Maverick recently lost the 24/7 title at his wedding. Drake is at Raw now. His streak closed on his honeymoon, which he promises a honeymoon soon, but he takes her blindfold off, and she's not happy that they're at Raw. He says it's a quick stop, but she says he's obsessed with the title. She says it's either her or the WWE 24/7 title. Drake says, of course, he picks her because he loves her and won't let anything in between. They hug, but Drake is distracted by R-Truth, who is standing there with the title. Truth taunts Drake, and he walks off. Still to come, an update with the Undertaker situation following last week's return back to commercial. Back from the break, AJ Styles backstage with Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Heel turn. My prediction from weeks ago when they had the club back together. They talk about AJ getting a title shot from WWE champion Ricochet. Anderson doesn't believe AJ can beat Ricochet and puts his hot Asian wife on the line. Styles gives props to Ricochet and apparently takes Anderson's bet. AJ walks off. No Way Jose versus Cesaro is up next. We go to the ring. Out comes No Way with his conga line. We see Drake Maverick and his wife at ringside watching the show. And you see a blonde-headed person dressed up, and it's other than R-Truth. Hiding as a member of the conga line, taunting Drake at ringside and dancing with his wife, who doesn't recognize him either. A group of superstars end up chasing Truth off as Cesaro attacks Jose to start the match. Cesaro knocks Jose out of the ring and beats him down. Cesaro with a neutralizer on the floor. Referee yells at Cesaro, and the match never started. Cesaro just walks off. Charlie Caruso backstage with the NXT champions, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins that I talked about earlier. The Street Profits. They do promos to announce their arrivals, saying they brought the swag to Raw. They sing about wanting the smoke with the others on Raw. We see Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre backstage walking. They will address the Undertaker situation next. Back to commercial. Back from the break, Cole Saw shows us a replay of the opening explosion angle and not to play up the seriousness of the situation. Renee reports that both superstars are still being evaluated at the hospital. Cole Saw promises another update later. Sarah Schreiber is backstage with The Miz. Miz says he doesn't wish what happened to Strowman and Lashley on no one, but the WWE superstars put their bodies on the line each night. Schreiber shows us the beatdown on Miz and from SmackDown from last week. Miz cuts a promo on Elias ahead of their 2-on-3 Falls match tonight and mentions the Undertaker night might be here for Shane McMahon tonight. Go back to the ring. Out comes Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. Cole Saw hypes their Extreme Rules match against the Undertaker and Roman Reigns. Shane enters the ring as Rome gives a proper introduction. Shane mentions the Strowman Lashley incident and reminds everyone he has other duties besides gracing everyone out here with his presence. Shane brings up Roman Reigns in last week's show. Shane says that they've had their perfect setup. It was going to be the demise of Roman Reigns. Shane shows us the footage from last week's 2-on-1 handicap match beat down on Reigns. They have a few words for Reigns, and then Shane says he wants to focus on the Undertaker, the one who Reigns begged to come and save him from his situation. Shane says he's looking forward to doing battle with Taker again. Shane says Taker surprised everyone on Monday, but there will be no surprises at Extreme Rules because he and Drew will put the big dog and the Phenom in the ground. Drew says Taker is the greatest legend in the history of WWE and has put fear in the heart of every man he faced. But Drew isn't any ordinary man. He's a hybrid of every generation, and he's not afraid of Taker. Drew says he doesn't give a dang about Taker. To be perfectly honest, Drew says he and Shane heard a little rumor going around that Taker would be here, and he came dressed to fight. Fans start chanting Taker's name now. Drew says if Taker is in the building, they want him to march down the aisle or magically appear in the ring so they can look him in his eyes and tell him he's not afraid, and that he will see his legacy exterminated at Extreme Rules. Lights start flickering on Shane and Drew as they look around. Thunder and lightning starts. Lightning hits the ring, and the lights come back on. McIntyre is furious, pacing around. Lights go out again, and Taker's bell starts to toll. A grand entrance for Taker begins, but it looks like he's not here. Taker finally appears and starts slowly walking to the ring. Shane and McIntyre look like they're getting ready to fight, but now it looks like they're retreating. Taker stands on the ring steps, and the lights come back on some. Drew and Shane stare Taker down from an area over the barrier. Fans pop for Taker as the music hits. The lights are still low, and there's now a spotlight on Shane and Drew. Taker takes the mic as the fans chant his name. Taker says Reigns never asked him for his help. That's not who he is. But if Shane and Drew need answers to why, let Taker explain who he is. He is and has been the reaper of wayward souls for a long time. And he's here to collect the souls of Shane and Drew. Fans pop again. Taker says Shane had his respect a little for a while. Taker says Shane gave him everything he had at Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania 32 and lived to tell it. But like no mortal man, he fell to his own greed and ego. Taker says Shane may be the best in the world, but where he's sending them to, he'll be nothing more than another couple of lost souls suffering the torment and torture of their acrid stench of death. And that will be for all of eternity, he adds. Taker says Shane and Drew will never rest in peace. My imitation. Taker drops the mic, cuts his own throat, staring out at Taker and Drew. The bell starts up and tolls again, and Taker's music starts back up to end the segment. Baron Constipated Corbin, Triple C, is backstage with Lacey Evans addressing Seth Rollins ahead of the winner take all match in Extreme Rules. Corbin asks if Becky Lynch is worth it to Rollins. Evans turns to Corbin and starts discussing Becky. She also accuses Rollins of having wandering eyes and says he won't be able to keep his eyes off of her tonight as she defeats Natalya. She says Rollins will see that she never could, should have put his faith in the man. They go back to the arena for the end of Taker's exit. He stops on the way back and raises his fist in the air. Its fans pop. Back to commercial. Natalya versus Lacey Evans was up next. So what? Wasn't the match for them. Back for the break, Natalya waits in the ring as Lacey Evans makes her way out. My daughter's favorite match of the night was this match. Baron Corbin is out with her, of course, constipated one. The bell rings and they go at it. Natalya sends Evans to the floor early on. She followed, but Evans levels her with a stiff shot. Evans brings her back in the ring for a 2 count. We see Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins backstage watching the match. Coleslaw reminds us that they are in a relationship and says that they will have an exclusive interview later on. Evans with more offense and another 2 count. As Corbin yells from ringside. Evans drives elbows into Natalya on the apron as the referee counts. Evans drops Natalya and launches herself from the apron over the top, dropping an elbow on Natalya for a 2 count. Evans keeps Natalya grounded in the middle of the ring. Natalya tries to mount offense, but Evans keeps control and nails the neck breaker for a 2 count. Evans climbs up the corner, but Natalya yanks her off face first to the mat. Natalya unloads with strikes in the corner now. Corbin distracts Natalya, allowing Evans to come from behind. Natalya counted for a 2 count. Natalya drops Evans with a big discus clothesline. Natalya slaps Evans now. Natalya turns around with some of her signature moves, but Corbin trips her as she runs the ropes. Fans are booing Corbin. Natalya turns her attention to Corbin, allowing Evans to take advantage and nails the woman's right. Evans covers for the pin. Wins the match. After the match, Rollins and Becky look on from the back as Corbin and Evans celebrate the win. We got a replay. Ricochet is backstage with Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Charlie Caruso interrupts and asks for a word with Ricochet. Ryder and Hawkins leave. She asks about last week's non-title loss to Ricochet and his comments from earlier. Ricochet says facing AJ in the Raw main event was one of the biggest accomplishments of his career, and next time he knows he could probably win. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson interrupt to taunt Ricochet. Ricochet goes on about being confident in his abilities and beating AJ next time. Gallows says it's time to put Ricochet in his place. Ricochet isn't looking for trouble, but he's down for a match. They continue taunting and threatening him, walking off. And there was rumors that Ricochet was having problems with his lines and what have you. But Charlie Caruso was helping him. Good job, Charlie. We see Miz walking backstage. Back to commercial. Back from the break, AJ Styles is with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. They are talking a bit about Ricochet, and AJ says he's going to go have a talk with Ricochet. They wonder why AJ is going to talk. They go on about AJ being the one to lose his edge, wondering what happened to the AJ who would slap Ricochet in the face and then accept the challenge. This leads to AJ stopping when he sees Ricochet backstage. They agree on the title match. AJ slaps Ricochet out of nowhere. Ricochet slaps back. They face off, smiling before as AJ walks off. 2 out of 3 falls match, Miz versus Elias. We go to the ring, and the Miz is out. Elias waits, and they go at it quickly to start. Back and forth. What? No. Hello, my name is Elias segment? Or speech. Cole Saul announces the next commercial break will happen after the second fall. Miz suddenly drops Elias with a skull crush finale for a pin to get the first fall. Elias comes back in, and Miz goes to work on his leg. Elias fights off of a figure 4. Miz keeps the aggressive offense going on, but Elias hits the drift away for the second fall. Commercial break. After that, the bell rings start the final fall. They go at it. Elias nails a sit-down powerbomb for a 2 count. Elias unloads in the corner now. Elias keeps control and drops Miz with an elbow in the middle of the ring. Elias with more strikes and a quick pin attempt. Elias keeps Miz grounded with a submission attempt. Miz fights up and out, but Elias rocks him with an uppercut. Then another. Miz blocks the third and nails the backside for a 2 count. More back and forth in the corner now. Miz unloads with chops. Elias hits an inverted DDT out of nowhere for a 2 count. Elias waits on the apron and charges, but Miz moves and he nails the ring post with a knee instead. Miz brings Elias back in and applies a figure 4 in the middle of the ring. Elias taps out for the final fall. After the match, Miz decks Elias before getting up. As the music starts, we go to replays. Back from a break. Cole Saul shows us highlights from Baron Corbin versus Universal Champion Seth Rollins at Stomping Grounds. Charlie's backstage with Rollins and Women's Champion Becky. Rollins wishes a speedy recovery to Braun and Bobby. Charlie congratulates Rollins and Becky on their Stomping Grounds wins. Charlie asks about the Extreme Rules winner-take-all match and if Rollins is impulsive. They joke about Rollins being impulsive. They go on about Extreme Rules match until Maria Kanellis interrupts. She has an issue with them being called the first couple of WWE. Kanellis runs down Becky and says she may have beat Ronda Rousey, but Maria pushed an 8-pound baby out of her uterus. Maria says that deserves a title. Mike Kanellis appears and Maria says Rollins only has the title because Mike hasn't taken it from him. They go on, and Maria says, how about she bring her bitch and we'll face Rollins and his. The match is on, and we can have a commercial break. What? The match is up next. There's your mixed match tag. We got to ring our first Universal Champion, Seth Rollins. Raw Women's Champion Becky is out next. They await in the ring as the music hits. Out next comes Mike Kanellis and wife Maria. Rollins and Mike start the match. They go back and forth before facing off. They go at it again until Maria and Becky are forced in. Maria retreats to the floor and takes the mic. The match is almost over here. Maria says Mike promised her that she could wipe the floor with Rollins, but she shouldn't know better because she can't even wipe the floor at home. He can't even wipe the floor at home. She runs Mike down until Becky comes out to bring her into the ring. Maria then reveals that she's pregnant again. Baby number 2. Everyone stops. Mike looks shocked from the apron. He asks how this happened and acts like it's not his. And Maria doesn't know because she didn't think he was man enough to get her pregnant. Well, who was the first one too? Becky takes advantage of her son Mike and yanks him over the top rope to the mat, applying the disarmer to make him tap out. Winner of the match, Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. After the match, Becky and Rollins exit as the music hits. Maria takes the mic in the ring and says she can't believe Mike is the father to her children. She's waited and waited for him to grow up and take some responsibility, but he's nothing but a disappointment. Maria says the only man here tonight was the man, Becky. So maybe next time she will ask Becky to impregnate her. Mike listens while sitting down on the mat. Maria drops the mic and walks off, leaving Mike looking stunned. Charlie is backstage again as she doesn't know what Lesnar. Heyman tosses a possible cash-in by Lesnar until the Street Profits interrupt. As this is for your viewers for Daily Motion, this is video number 2, the conclusion for Raw. As Heyman teases a possible cash-in by Lesnar until the Street Profits interrupt with their own mic work, messing around with Heyman and somewhat taunting him. Heyman says he doesn't have time for this because he's a busy man. He walks off and they beg him to come back. They do some work, some more comedy, and walk off. As Paul Heyman is your producer for Raw now, and Eric Bischoff is your producer for SmackDown. We see Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross backstage walking. Back to commercial. Back for the break, out comes Alexa Bliss to host a moment of bliss on the stage. She sends her thoughts to Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley to start. She says tonight's special guest is special because she won Bliss the title shot from SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley at Extreme Rules. Plus they are best friends. Music hit, out comes Nikki Cross. Cross comes out, and Bliss shows us a video from last week's Cross versus Bayley match from SmackDown. Cross thanks Bliss for the congratulations. Cross wants everyone to know none of this would have happened without Bliss and her guidance. She goes on about how Bliss was the first one to believe in her, and she will always be grateful for that. Bliss thanks her and says this is all about giving credit to Cross. This is her moment of bliss. The music interrupts, out comes Carmella. Carmella wonders why Bliss is getting the SmackDown Women's title shot instead of Cross. Bliss and Carmella have words out. Carmella says Bliss is playing Cross and taking advantage of her, and that's not how friendship works. Bliss says Carmella is pathetic, trying to break them up. Bliss says all Carmella is now our true sidekick. Carmella challenges Bliss to meet her in the ring. Carmella marches up the ramp, down the ramp for the challenge. Bliss is right behind her with Cross at her side. Apparently we get Carmella versus Bliss. Carmella and Bliss face off as the referee calls for the bell. Carmella quickly rolls Bliss up for the easy win out of nowhere. After the match, Bliss immediately retreats from the ring. As Carmella taunts her, we go to commercial. Carmella versus Nikki Cross is up next. Back from the break, the match begins. Carmella drops Nikki and covers for a quick 2 count. More back and forth between the two. Cross gets sent to the floor, but she pulls Carmella into the apron, cover, and beats on her. Cross unloads and screams out. Cross brings her back in and keeps control for a 2 count. Cross runs into an elbow, and then a boot in the corner as Carmella begins mounting offense. Carmella drops Cross in the corner with a boot to the face. Carmella with a Bronco Buster for a 2 count now. Carmella keeps control as Alexa Bliss yells at ring from ringside. Cross makes a comeback and kicks Carmella back in the ring. Cross goes to the top, has to roll through. Cross catches a kick and nails one of her own. Cross with a swinging neck breaker for the pin to win. After the match, Bliss hits the ring to celebrate with Cross, turning to taunt Carmella while she's down. We see AJ Styles backstage warming up for the main event. Back to commercial. Sarah Shriver opposes Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross backstage. Shriver asks Cross how she feels now that the WWE Universe wants her to face SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley at Extreme Rules instead of Bliss getting the title shot. An angry Bliss interrupts and says they have no comment, rushing off. Drake Maverick backstage with his wife, back on good terms. She goes on to get ready to leave and leaves Drake to stand by himself. Superstars chase R-Truth as champion, but Drake resists. Truth stops back by and thinks Drake won't try to pin him, but Drake decks him with his luggage, calls for the referee. Drake wins the title from Truth and yells for his wife to come on because they can do it 24/7 now. When your new 24/7 champion, Drake Maverick. Then we see what happened between Ricochet and AJ from earlier. It's time for their title match. U.S. champion, U.S. title match. Championship match. AJ Styles versus Ricochet. We go to the ring for tonight's main event, and out first comes AJ. Of course, Ricochet was out next. We go to commercial as Ricochet poses in the corner. Back for the ring. Here we go. Back and forth start. AJ with a close pin attempt. Ricochet with a running thrust in the corner and a flying clothesline. AJ catches Ricochet flying again and covers for a 2 count. Fans do dueling chants as Styles works Ricochet against the ropes. Ricochet kicks AJ back and sends him out of the ring with a follow-up kick. Ricochet runs the ropes and dives out with a plancha, taking AJ down on the floor. Ricochet clutches his ribs and brings AJ back in the ring. Ricochet flies in, but has to roll through. AJ fights from the apron and springboards in with a forearm on the forearm. AJ covers for the pin to win the title, but Ricochet had his foot under the ropes. I had just made a comment about that. Even my daughter said the same thing. Even 11-year-olds know championship rules. Matches rules. Foot on the rope. You got to stop. The pinfall. But the first referee declares that AJ is the champion. After the match, AJ announces the champion. He starts to celebrate the title. When the title as the music starts. Replay shows Ricochet's leg was under the bottom rope. The second referee comes in and talks to the original referee, showing a video of it. AJ's music stopped. As they're talking over, back to commercial. Back from a break. Match has already started due to the bad call. They go at it. Ricochet with twisting insecurity before dropping AJ on his head. AJ kicks out at 2. Ends up launching himself to the floor with a phenomenal forearm, dropping Ricochet out on the floor. And then AJ brings it back in and drops Ricochet with a brain buster. Ricochet still kicks out at 2. More back and forth between the two. AJ with a rack bomb for another close 2 count. AJ takes Ricochet to the top and climbs up, but Ricochet knocks him to the mat. Ricochet comes off the top, but AJ counters. They trade counters on the mat. Ricochet gets a pin to retain the title. After the match, AJ looks on shocked. As Ricochet takes the title and stands tall while his music hits. Music stops as AJ extends his hand for a shake in the middle of the ring. Fans are cheering as they shake. We see Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson applauding from the ramp now, mocking the two. They get on the apron, and AJ looks to have a few words with them. They say something about the real AJ. AJ suddenly turns and drops Ricochet with a cheap shot. AJ stomps away and unloads on Ricochet as the fans boo now. Gallows and Anderson enter the ring to drop Ricochet with a magic killer. AJ with another right hand to Ricochet in the middle of the ring. Gallows and Anderson lift Ricochet as AJ hits a super styles clash from the second rope. Fans boo as the club stands tall in the middle of the ring, touching the 2 sweet symbols in the air. They go back to pounding Ricochet as the fans continue. Now, is it that or is it this? Correct me, please. Me and my buddy Robert, we had a thing. I think I got a picture of that with that. Wolfpack. It's also the Texas sign. Longhorn sign. Well, after that, they get on the apron and AJ looks to have words with them. They say something. Well, I already did that. Gallows and Anderson then lift Ricochet as AJ hits the... I already said that too. As they did the 2 sweet symbols in the air, they go back to pounding on Ricochet as the boos continue. AJ puts a boot on Ricochet, and they stand together. As we go to more replays, Raw goes off the air with the club posing together over Ricochet as Styles declares that they are back. The club. So we're going to have more 6-man matches in the future. The dark match after this week's Raw from American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas saw Universal Champion Seth Rollins retain his title over Baron Corbin in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Also saw Women's Champion Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans get involved at one point with Lynch stopping chair shots and threatening Corbin with a chair. She ended up taking the chair to Evans and went standing tall with her boyfriend for a post-match celebration to end the tapings. And that concludes my result from Raw, SmackDown, and your AEW event. That concludes my video. Thanks again. See you on the video. And if you don't know, just call me brothers and sisters.